You are on the Rant Couch, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Echophoria, who says, rant about how to stay sane in our crazy socio-political climate that constantly bombards us with false narratives and pressures us to take sides, especially on social media. Even smart guys like Ben Saint get sucked in and somehow become apologists for fucking Antifa. I mean, in the case of Ben, I don't know if it's as much of getting sucked in as wanting to get sucked in, because there's a lot of benefits to having a side, and if you already ideologically align with it, you might as well go all in on it so that you can reap all of those benefits. I think that has a lot to do with why he's taken the approach he has. But how to stay sane, I mean, for me it's kind of like, I've never trusted people in general. I've always thought that people were like this. It's just that now it's about politics. And so people are even more willing to be adamant because it's like they really believe in the things that they are saying. And they really believe that to think the opposite is evil. So they're very they're very morally justified. They're riled up. It's kind of like the Crusades, where like the Christians were led into battle because they really believed that the Muslims were wrong, and vice versa. So it's like, this is why we're fighting, is because we've been morally convinced that, we have a conviction that the other guys are bad and we need to fight them and we need to stop them or else the world is going to end. Our values are going to be challenged. The people who we value are going to be eradicated if we don't stand up for what we believe in. And it's understandable why people feel that way. The world is, of course, way more complicated than that, and people are always choosing the wrong thing to rally against, recognizing the wrong villain, not understanding what actually could be done to put them in a situation that would avoid all this. Mass ignorance is always going to be the biggest problem facing society, because if everybody knew what to do, we would all just do it. But, people, certainly, even if they know the answers, can't convince others that they are the answers when, there's so much data going around. I would just say keep your wits about you. Don't believe anything. Don't believe anything you read until you've confirmed it for yourself. Find sources who you can trust because you have seen that they've been proven time and time again to be correct empirically, and only listen to sources like that. You can take in all the other information and you could operate on the belief that some of it is true, but you don't have to parrot it. Don't share things that you're not sure are correct. Don't go and base your opinions of the world on what you've seen on Twitter, what you've seen from people signal boosting and retelling the story and putting their own spin on things, which is fucking constant, particularly on Twitter. First of all, get off Twitter. If you really want help with this, just get off Twitter. Twitter's not worth it. It's not... Twitter is not important. It is not helpful to your life. Twitter is, overall, the amount of good that comes out of it, I don't think is equatable to the amount of bad that comes out of it. And I'm on there all the time. I don't even think it really helps my career in any way. I just like to be able to have the platform because I like the idea of the platform. I like what it could be. And it's not so bad for me because I don't follow that many people. I pretty much unfollow anybody as soon as I think that they're being too annoying or playing too much into that culture. Being too much of a fucking... too much of an asshole about shit. I mean, recently I unfollowed the Pedantic Romantic just because of the way that she will constantly, put up straw men and pick out single comments and act like by responding to them she's responding to this massive amount of people who all have that opinion, and doing it in very dirty tactical ways that are just this doesn't vibe with me. You're painting a narrative that doesn't reflect reality. You're overblowing your enemies, understating your allies, and making it out you're fucking really sticking it to the other side when sometimes you're just responding to shit posts. I mean, the one that finally got me to unfollow her was when she was calling something out that turned out to be ironic. The person was saying it ironically, And I thought that was obvious, and then she was like, "Oh, well, this person was being ironic in this case, thankfully, but there are people who really think this." And I'm like, "You can't, you can't say that. Just delete the tweet. You fucked up. You know, like, present evidence or get the fuck out of here." It's like I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the narrative spinning of everybody just, you know, blithely creating a worldview through their tweets, and then, you know, I don't know. I find it all, it's very annoying to me. You know, it doesn't fill me with despair so much as the whirling dervish. You know, that podcast comes out of my feelings towards this culture. You know, speak out against it. Unfollow people who have bad behavior. You know, decry their bad behavior, and promote people who you think are actually trustworthy and who you. And I mean, again, it's not even easy to vet a source ever. You know, it's not easy to. I guess if you just surround yourself with people you believe in, at the very least, you'll feel like there are people you can believe in, you know? Which, in fairness, I think all these people are doing. Like, they're rallying behind people who they think are truthful or they think are correct, and I think a lot of those people are ignorant. They don't even necessarily realize what they're doing wrong, how they are exacerbating the problem, and you know, it's like I don't know how to teach the critical thinking skills to the average person to analyze a tweet and recognize like what really they should be getting out of it. You know, um, so just remain critical. Understand that for a lot of the people involved, this is a game. The identity politics has a lot of profit and community and identity tied up in it. There's a lot more to it than what people are just saying and what they really believe. It's it's a shit show. So yeah, keep your wits about you.